The summer air in Bozeman, Montana, was thick with the scent of pine and freedom as I loaded my backpack into the back of the old Ford pickup. I'd known Mike since freshman year at Montana State University, two small-town kids bonding over late-night study sessions and shared dreams of escaping our mundane lives. When he invited me on this family camping trip to Yellowstone, I jumped at the chance. Anything to get away from the suffocating routine of my part-time job at the local diner and the endless questions from my folks about why I hadn't found a nice girl yet. Little did I know, this trip would unravel everything I thought I knew about myself. Mike's family was the epitome of American wholesomeness. His dad, Mr. Harlan, a burly ex-Marine with a laugh that could shake the mountains. His mom, Mrs. Harlan, who packed enough homemade apple pie to feed an army. And then there was Jordan, Mike's older brother. Jordan was 25, fresh out of the army, with sun-kissed skin, broad shoulders from years of service, and a smile that could light up the darkest trail. He'd always been the golden boy, captain of the high school football team, the one who enlisted right after graduation to serve his country, as Mr. Harlan proudly put it. I'd met him a few times before, but this was the first extended time we'd spend together. Something about him made my stomach twist in ways I tried to ignore. We hit the road at dawn, the truck rumbling along Highway 191, winding through the Gallatin Canyon. Mike cranked up the country radio, belting out lyrics to some Luke Bryan song, while I stared out the window at the rushing river below. Jordan sat shotgun, his arm draped casually over the seat, occasionally glancing back with those piercing green eyes. "You ever been to Yellowstone, Evan?" he asked, his voice deep and steady, like the rumble of thunder on a clear day. "Nah, first time," I replied, trying to sound casual. "Heard the geysers are something else." "Wait till you see Old Faithful erupt," Mrs. Harlan chimed in from the back. "It's like the earth itself is alive." The conversation flowed easily, but I couldn't shake the undercurrent of tension. I'd come out to Mike last year, in a drunken confession after a frat party. He was cool about it, hugged me, said it didn't change a thing. But his family, they were straight out of a Norman Rockwell painting, all church on Sundays and family barbecues. I figured I'd keep my head down, enjoy the scenery, and not complicate things. We arrived at the campsite by midday, a secluded spot near Lamar Valley, surrounded by towering lodgepole pines and the distant howl of wolves. Setting up was a group effort, Mr. Harlan barking orders like a drill sergeant, Mike and I pitching the tents, Jordan hauling firewood with effortless strength. As the sun dipped lower, we gathered around the fire pit. The flames crackled to life, casting flickering shadows on our faces. That first night, after s'mores and ghost stories, everyone turned in early. I lay in my sleeping bag, staring at the tent ceiling, when I heard rustling outside. Peeking out, I saw Jordan sitting by the embers, poking at the fire with a stick. His profile was silhouetted against the glow, strong jaw, thoughtful expression. Something pulled me toward him. "Can't sleep," I whispered, slipping out to join him. He looked up, surprised but smiling. "Nah, jet lag from the flight back stateside, I guess." "You?" "Just thinking." I sat beside him, our shoulders almost touching. The night was crisp, stars blanketing the sky like diamonds on black velvet. We talked for hours, about his tours in Afghanistan, the friends he'd lost, the nightmares that followed him home. "It's hard readjusting," he admitted, his voice softening. "Everyone expects you to be the hero, but inside you're just broken." I opened up too, more than I planned, about growing up in a conservative town, feeling like an outsider. "I envy you sometimes," I said. "You've got it all figured out." He laughed bitterly. "If only. Truth is, Evan, I've got secrets that could blow this whole family apart." His words hung in the air, heavy with implication. Our eyes met, and for a split second, I swear there was a spark, something raw and unspoken. But he looked away, tossing another log on the fire. "Better get some shut-eye. Big hike tomorrow." I returned to my tent, heart racing. What the hell was that? Jordan was straight, engaged to his high school sweetheart, Sarah, back in Bozeman. Mike had mentioned the wedding plans casually. Yet, that conversation felt like the start of something dangerous. The next day dawned bright, and we set off on a trail to spot wildlife. Bison grazed in the distance, Elk bugled echoing through the valley. Jordan led the way, pointing out tracks and sharing stories from his survival training. Mike teased him relentlessly, but I hung back, watching how Jordan moved with quiet confidence. By afternoon, we reached a crystal-clear lake, perfect for swimming. The Harlans stripped down to swimsuits, diving in with whoops and splashes. I hesitated, self-conscious about my lanky frame compared to Jordan's sculpted one, but joined in. The water was shockingly cold, invigorating. As we treaded water, Jordan swam close. "Race you to the buoy," he challenged, grinning. "You're on," I shot back. We splashed off, laughing as we reached the marker neck and neck. Floating there, catching our breath, his hand grazed my arm under the surface. Accidental? Maybe. But the way he held my gaze sent shivers unrelated to the chill. Back at camp, as the sun set, Mrs. Harlan pulled out her guitar, strumming old folk tunes. We sang along, voices blending in the wilderness. Jordan sat next to me, our knees brushing. When the others retired, he lingered again. "Evan, about last night." He started but trailed off. "Yeah, nothing. Just glad you're here." "Me too," I thought as I lay awake later. Way too glad. The third day brought rain, a steady drizzle that turned the trails to mud. Mr. Harlan suggested we hunker down, play cards in the big tent. But Jordan had other ideas. "Come on, Evan. Let's scout for firewood before it gets worse." Mike waved us off, engrossed in a game of poker with his dad. We trudged into the forest, the canopy dripping above us. The air smelled of wet earth and adventure. Jordan moved like he owned the woods, pointing out edible plants and animal signs. "You're good at this," I said, slipping on a root. He caught my elbow, steadying me. "Army training. You learn to survive." His touch lingered a beat too long. We gathered branches in silence, the rain pattering on leaves. Then, out of nowhere, "Evan, can I ask you something personal?" "Shoot." Mike mentioned, "You're gay." "That true?" My stomach dropped. "Yeah." "Why?" He shrugged, avoiding my eyes. "Just curious. Never really known anyone like that." We walked on, tension thick as the fog rolling in. Back at camp, the rain cleared, and we built a roaring fire. That night, after dinner, Jordan pulled me aside. "Want to stargaze? Away from the light pollution here." I nodded, following him to a clearing. We lay on a blanket, the Milky Way sprawling above. "Beautiful, huh?" he murmured. "Yeah." I agreed, but I was looking at him. He turned his head, our faces inches apart. "Evan, I think I'm confused." "About what?" "About this." And then he kissed me, soft, tentative, like testing forbidden waters. My world exploded. I kissed back, hands tangling in his hair, the taste of campfire smoke on his lips. It was everything I'd secretly craved. Passionate, electric, real. We pulled apart, breathless. "Jordan, what about Sarah?" He winced. "It's complicated. We've been together forever, but I don't feel this with her." My heart soared and sank simultaneously. This could ruin everything. "I know, but I can't ignore it anymore." The next days blurred into stolen moments. A brush of hands while hiking, whispered confessions by the fire. Mike noticed nothing, too busy with his girlfriend's texts. Mr. and Mrs. Harlan treated me like family, oblivious. But cracks appeared. One afternoon, we hiked to a remote waterfall. Alone at the base, Jordan pinned me against a rock, kissing me fiercely. "I want you, Evan. All of you." I melted, but doubt nagged. "What happens after this trip?" He hesitated. "We'll figure it out." That night, a storm hit, thunder shaking the ground, lightning illuminating the tents. I huddled in mine when Jordan slipped in. "Couldn't stay away," he whispered. We made love under the roar of rain, bodies entwined in desperate passion. It was intense, vulnerable, his hands exploring me like charting new territory. Afterward, holding each other, he confessed, "I've felt this way for years, suppressed it because of Dad, the army, everything." "I get it," I said, stroking his back. "But we have to be careful." The storm passed, but another brewed. On the 5th day, we drove to Old Faithful. As the geyser erupted, a symbol of pent-up release, Jordan's phone buzzed. Sarah. He stepped away to answer, his face paling. When he returned, he was distant. Everything okay? I asked. Yeah, just wedding stuff. Jealousy twisted in my gut. That evening, around the campfire, Mr. Harlan raised a toast. To family, and to Jordan and Sarah. May your marriage be as strong as these mountains. Everyone cheered. Jordan forced a smile, avoiding my eyes. Later, alone, I confronted him. You still planning to marry her? He sighed. Evan, it's not that simple. My family's expectations. The life I've built. So what am I? A fling? No. God, no. You're everything I didn't know I needed. But his words rang hollow. The next morning, Mike pulled me aside. Dude, you seem off. What's up? Nothing. I lied. Just homesick. We packed for a longer hike into the backcountry. Jordan led, but tension simmered. At a scenic overlook, he pulled me behind a boulder. I love you, Evan. I mean it. The words hit like an avalanche. Love? Jordan, we've known each other a week. But it feels right. I wanted to believe him. We kissed again, but footsteps approached, Mrs. Harlan. We sprang apart just in time. That night, by the fire, Jordan got a call. He wandered off, voice low. I followed discreetly, heart pounding. Sarah, I can't do this anymore. It's over. Relief flooded me. But then, no, it's not about someone else. I just need time. He hung up, turning to find me there. You heard. Yeah, you ended it. He nodded, pulling me close. For us. Joy surged, but doubt lingered. Was this real or just wilderness fantasy? The trip's midpoint brought a shift. The air crisper, the leaves hinting at fall. We ventured deeper into Yellowstone, spotting grizzlies from afar. The raw power of nature mirroring my inner chaos. Jordan and I grew bolder. Stolen glances, secret touches. Mike joked about our bromance, clueless to the depth. But paradise cracked. On day 7, while fishing at a remote stream, Jordan's phone pinged. A text from Sarah. We need to talk. I'm coming to Bozeman tomorrow. He showed me, face ashen. She suspects something. What did you tell her? That it's over. But she's not letting go. Anxiety gnawed at me. That afternoon, a ranger warned of incoming weather. A potential flash flood. Mr. Harlan decided we'd hike to higher ground. The trail was grueling, mud sucking at our boots. Jordan and I fell behind. Evan, if she shows up, I'll handle it. But your family, I'll tell them about us. Hope flickered. At the new campsite, we set up quickly. Night fell, stars piercing the sky. Around the fire, stories flowed. Jordan sat close, his hand on my knee under a blanket. Then disaster. Mike's phone rang. Sarah, calling from town. She was hysterical. Jordan broke up with me. Out of nowhere. The family froze. Mr. Harlan's face hardened. What the hell, son? Jordan stood, glancing at me. Dad, it's true. I can't marry her. Why not? You've been together since high school. Because I'm gay. The word hung like a bomb. Silence, then explosion. Mrs. Harlan gasped. Mike stared, piecing it together. Wait, you and Evan? Jordan nodded. Yes, started here, but it's real. Betrayal hit like lightning. Mr. Harlan roared. This is bullshit. The army made you a man, not this. Dad, please. You're confusing lust with love. Evan, you put this in his head. No, Mike intervened. Dad, calm down. Evan's my friend. But the damage was done. Mr. Harlan stormed off. Mrs. Harlan wept. Jordan chased his dad, leaving me shattered. Later, in the tent, Jordan returned bruised, not physically but emotionally. He called me a disgrace. I'm sorry, I whispered, holding him. We clung together, but the storm broke, literal and metaphorical. Rain pounded, winds howling. A crack echoed. A tree falling nearby. Flash flood, Mr. Harlan yelled. Everyone out. Chaos ensued. The river swelled, sweeping gear away. We grabbed what we could, fleeing uphill. In the panic, Jordan and I separated. I slipped on slick rocks, tumbling into rushing water. Cold engulfed me. Jordan. Strong arms yanked me out, Mr. Harlan. Hold on, kid. He pulled me to safety, both gasping. Thanks, I panted. He grunted. Family looks out for each other, even if things are complicated. We regrouped at a ridge, soaked and shaken. Jordan hugged me fiercely. Thought I lost you. The family huddled, the flood a metaphor for our turmoil. Dawn broke, waters receding, but the emotional flood lingered. Mike cornered me. You should have told me. I didn't plan this. He loves you, man. But Sarah, she's devastated. Guilt twisted. Jordan had betrayed her. For me, that day we hiked back, silence heavy. At camp, Sarah arrived unannounced, driving and furious. You bastard, she screamed at Jordan. And you, turning to me, you stole him. It's not like that, Jordan said. But she revealed the twist. He's been lying to everyone. We were never really engaged. It was a cover for his affairs with men in the army. Gasped. Jordan paled. Sarah, no. It's true. He begged me to pretend to keep up appearances. Betrayal crashed over me. Jordan? Is this? He crumpled. Yes, I was scared. But with you, it's different. Real. I reeled. He'd used her as a shield and now me as, what? An experiment? The family erupted. Mr. Harlan disowned him verbally. Mrs. Harlan sobbed. Mike punched Jordan. Defending me? No, defending the lie. I walked away, heart in pieces. The man I loved was a fraud. The final days were a blur of pain and reflection. We packed up early. The wilderness no longer a sanctuary, but a reminder of shattered illusions. Jordan tried to talk, but I shut him out. Give me space, I said, voice breaking. On the drive back to Bozeman, silence reigned. Mr. Harlan gripped the wheel, knuckles white. Mrs. Harlan prayed quietly. Mike shot me sympathetic looks. Jordan stared out the window, defeated. Sarah had left in tears, but not before dropping more bombs. Letters from army buddies, hinting at Jordan's hidden life. He cheated on her multiple times, using the engagement as camouflage. At the Harlan home, I grabbed my bag. Thanks for the trip, I muttered. Mr. Harlan stopped me. Evan, I'm sorry. For everything. You're a good kid. This ain't on you. His words, gruff but sincere, cracked my armor. Appreciate it, sir. Mike hugged me. We'll talk soon, bro. Jordan followed me outside. Evan, please. I messed up. But I do love you. Love? Based on lies. I snapped. You betrayed Sarah, your family. Me. I was afraid. The army, Dad's expectations. Coming out could have ended me. I get fear. But honesty, that's what love needs. He nodded, tears streaming. Can we try? Start over. I hesitated. The connection was real, the laughs, the passion, the vulnerability. But trust? Shattered. Not now, I said. Maybe someday. I drove home, the Montana landscape blurring through tears. Weeks passed. I threw myself into work, therapy sessions unpacking my own fears. Mike checked in, our friendship strained but intact. Jordan texted apologies, then letters, raw, honest accounts of his struggles. Coming out in the military, the shame, the self-loathing. He sought counseling, distanced from his dad until bridges mended. One autumn day, he showed up at my door. I'm out to everyone. Lost some friends, but gained truth. I let him in. We talked for hours, no touches, just words. He admitted his faults, the cowardice, the hurt caused. I'm not asking for forgiveness yet, he said. Just a chance to prove I'm changing. Humanity shone through his brokenness. We all carry secrets, fears that warp us. Mine? Hiding my heart to avoid pain. Slowly, we rebuilt. Coffee dates turned to walks, then dinners. His family thawed. Mrs. Harlan invited me for Thanksgiving. Mr. Harlan, over pie, grumbled. Takes guts to face your mess. Respect that. Mike joked. If you hurt him again, I'll bury you in Yellowstone. Jordan and I took it slow, no labels, just presence. One night, under the same stars we'd first kissed beneath, he said, "Thank you for seeing me, the real me." I kissed him, forgiveness blooming. The trip had turned everything upside down, exposing wounds, but healing followed. Years later, we stood at that same lake, rings exchanged in a quiet ceremony. Friends, family, even Sarah, who'd found her own peace, cheered. Life's not perfect. Scars remain. But in America's vast wilds, we found redemption. Love not despite flaws, but through them. Human, messy, beautiful.